Choosing Day by Jennifer Beck. The Choosing Day. It was Briar's birthday. In Briar's family, when it is someone's birthday, that person can choose what they want to do all day long. For Briar, it was like being a princess for a day. She chose bananas and ice cream for her breakfast. She ate her breakfast in her mother and father's great big bed. She had her bath so deep and bubbly she could barely breathe without it frothing and foaming over the top. "What would you like to wear today?" her mother asked. Briar looked at her clothes in the wardrobe, then opened her box of dressing up clothes. She chose her favourite hat and her favourite dress and her favourite silver shoes. "What are you going to wear?" Briar asked her mother. "I'm not sure," her mother replied. "Could I choose for you?" asked Briar. She searched through the clothes in her mother's wardrobe. Right at the back she found a long silky dress with frills and ribbons and a twirly-swirly skirt. There was a wispy hat that went with it. "Please wear this dress today, Mum," Briar pleaded. "I've never seen you wear it except in the photograph." Briar's mother was quiet for a moment, and then she smiled at her daughter and said with a twinkle in her eyes, "I will." Briar watched with delight as her mother put on her wedding dress and her wedding hat and her high-heeled wedding shoes. Very soon Briar and her mother were dressed and ready to go out. They were going to the shops to choose special treats for the birthday tea. As they waited at the bus stop, Briar said, "People will know when they see us that today is a special day. I wonder what they'll say." But when they got on the bus, the driver just stared at them and said, where to?" And the passengers in the bus looked at Briar and her mother, and they looked at one another and said nothing. And when they went into the butcher's shop to buy little red sausages for the birthday tea, the butcher just stared at them and said, how many?" And the customers in the butcher's shop looked at Briar and her mother and looked at one another and said nothing. And when they went into the supermarket to buy some animal biscuits and some potato crisps and a big piece of Briar's favourite rainbow sponge cake, the strangers in the supermarket looked at Briar and her mother, and they looked at one another and said nothing. And the girl at the supermarket checkout just stared at them and said, and handed them the bill. When they had finished the shopping, Briar asked her mother if they could walk home. As they passed the school where Briar was to start the next day, they met a group of children coming out of the gate. They knew the teacher and some of the children. Among them were the 3 friends that Briar had invited to her birthday tea. When the children saw Briar and her mother, someone said, "They're wearing special clothes. It must be a special day." "It's Briar's birthday," explained one of her friends. "Where are you going?" Briar asked. "To the park for a picnic," the children replied. "Would you like to come too?" the teacher asked. "Yes, please," said Briar. So Briar and her mother walked with the children and the teacher to the park with the big trees and all the different things to play on. They slid down the slide, they swung high on the swings, they spun around on the roundabout and bounced up and down on the seesaw. Briar climbed a tree with one of her friends. Her mother danced ring-a-ring-a-rosy on the spring grass and twirled and swirled her long white skirt. Just then, Briar saw someone special arrive. It was her father. "Hello," he said with a grin. "You look as if you're having fun. I'm on my way home for lunch and I've bought the lemonade for the party tea." "Let's have the party now," exclaimed Briar. "Please, can you stay?" Briar's father looked from his daughter to his wife and smiled. "I will," he replied, "although I'm not properly dressed for the occasion." What a party they had. They all shared the red sausages, and the animal biscuits and the potato crisps. They all shared the children's sandwiches and the cookies and the fruit. Briar's father used his silver pocket knife to cut the rainbow sponge birthday cake into enough pieces for everyone. Afterwards, they all had a drink of cool, fizzy lemonade. Then the teacher glanced at her watch. It was time for the children to go back to school. "Thanks for the party," said Briar's new classmates. "See you tomorrow," smiled the teacher. "Would our princess and our queen like a ride home in my coach?" asked Briar's father. "Oh, yes," Briar replied, "but just for once." "Could we ride on the back?"